Hi guys, it's me again. I was finally able to get around to watching episodes 8 through 10 yesterday of Handmaid's Tale. So I liked it. Kinda like them, yeah. Cut hair, new start kinda thing. There were groups for those handmaids who have kind of escaped and all that. And how they're coping and all but it's a bit June's just getting a little angry, and it's kind of transferring to the other girls kind of thing. But it's a bit there's also Iris Baker, who Emily knew as Aunt Irene, where she was first posted kind of thing. It's I do kind of understand, can struggle to forgive. It's by the end of the episode, towards the end of episode 8 and Aunt Irene or Iris Baker had kind of killed herself because Emily couldn't forgive her. Felt like she couldn't forgive her. And it's I was just a bit Luke wants her to talk about what she's seen. It's at the end of episode 8 going into episode 9, they do talk and all that. I thought it was kind of getting better and all that, but it's she just wants to kind of feel angry, she well, it's also in kind of episode 8, it's Aunt Lydia kind of getting real bossy and all that to the handmaids and aunts and all that, most of whom probably know nothing else but Gilead kind of thing. And it's I kind of want to say maybe she has PTSD or something like that. I was pretty much a load of her girls have either escaped or died trying kind of thing. It really does not look well for her kind of thing. But it's it gets a little better for her as towards the end, Commander Lawrence or Joseph Lawrence tells her that they found Janine in Chicago and that she's coming back and all that. Not that Janine wants to go back to being a handmaid. But it's kind of the one thing that's kind of switched around a little bit. Because toward the start of in season 1, June was a bit more of a steady head, where Moira may not, but it's kind of feel it's switched around a little bit. Maybe Moira is a steady head, where June may not be, as now that they're both in kind of Canada and Toronto kind of area. Because Fred and Serena, and Serena do kind of argue they want to show a united front for everyone. And then so I kind of felt bad for June when they finally did go into the testimony hearing, the defense attorney was you do know a choice and all that, and I do kind of agree with you, and it wasn't much of a choice. It was either irradiated colonies or be a sexual slave. It's like you really don't want. I don't know, it's like I tend to refrain from making that choice and all that when knowing that I may never be there kind of thing. As it's little like I try and refrain from as like knowing that I'll probably never be there and not knowing what I was actually feeling like as an individual kind of thing. It's like as it probably would infuriate me a little bit. Whereas like going into like episode 9, 10 and all that, it's like Lee just wants to bring Hannah to Canada, where like to be with like their parents, biological parents and all that. It was just a bit like there was a call with Commander Lawrence to say like you can have Hannah, but you need 10 other children to send down here, kind of thing. As we see Janine, like she was in the cells I think in episode 8, and now she's screwing floors as Miss Key's arrestor is brought in. As like Janine has to kind of like stand up for her a little bit to get her to survive. As Janine's probably been through all this before and all that, like learned it all with like June and all that. Everyone else like you probably can't just outright rebel. Like if you want to fight, have to when to kind of like fight outright or just fight hidden in the shadows kind of thing. I was like, I'm not sure how much Serena Joy is getting a little uncomfortable with everything about Gilead kind of thing. I was like, kind of want to say like, she's feeling a little uncomfortable. I'm not sure with Serena Joy if she's so changeable kind of thing. It's like, Janine, I like Janine. I was like, Esther kind of looks up to June somewhat for kind of like forgetting like so many children out like end of season 3, which is the one scene I kind of enjoy. Like a load of women just beating up one guy with a gun with some stones, with like a load of stones and all that. I was like, there was one more thing. Later, Luke and all that could try and get Hannah and all that, but it's like, Nick kind of gave him pictures, said where she was, but that is probably like impossible. But it's a bit like, it's a bit like Luke doesn't really want her talking to Nick, but it's like he will forgive it if it's in for Hannah. Like he'll look at somewhat for Hannah. But it's like, and like when he put the ring, like Nick put the ring back on. So like, when did he get married again? As the one thing that surprised me was like, like Warren and Naomi, I think it was, visit them in like for the Waterfords in Canada. And as it kind of said, like, because so close to due date, and kind of like just talking about both, like I have a feeling Serena knows like they're not gonna let her live, and there's like taint on the son's life. And I was like, it's like I kind of understood like Moira's Emily's Rita's, like, potentially Rita's and June's reactions, say, like, when Tyler said, like, yeah, Fred would go free in exchange for information. I was like, yeah, kind of goes into episode 10 a little bit. I was like, yeah, there was a, like, yeah, Rita came back a little bit. I was like, yeah, she really does not want anything to do with the Waterfords kind of thing. I was like, yeah, they were able to kind of like talk over with Commander Lawrence for 22 women in exchange for Fred Waterford. Like, yeah, think about it, like, with June and Warner kind of saying, like, is Fred Waterford really that much? And it's kind of like potentially closure for like 22 families or something like that. It's like, yeah, they did kind of go through with it, like 22 were in for Fred kind of thing, or Nick. As like, yeah, Fred Waterford goes back to Gilead kind of thing. Like, as I heard things at the time, like, yeah, I heard that maybe that June pretty much killed Fred. But I sort of like, kind of like watching it, really hoping it wasn't true. But when like Nick came and like June kind of came out of the trees in like the dark forest and all that, it just kind of like, yeah, Fred eventually running away. And it's like, with like all the former handmaids and all that, like that Nick probably brought over just to kind of kill Fred somewhat. But like, it kind of reminds me of like a couple of scenes from the first season. Yeah, like, and particularly like from the opening scenes of season 1, episode 1, like where Luke, June, and Hannah are trying to get out of Gilead. And then, like, in the same episode, like, where they're trying to essentially kind of like beat up the guy that essentially committed a crime that I probably won't say here. As like, yeah, when June gets back, and know that Luke doesn't really approve, just wants 5 minutes to kind of like say goodbye to Hannah and all that kind of thing. Yeah, so I was kind of like surprised and all, like how fast kind of like Fred's case kind of flips. As like, yeah, it'd go like being able to set free, kind of like a joke going to Geneva to kind of set it free, to like kind of as going out to the car to go to airport to go to Geneva. It's like, suddenly you can't go. It's like I kind of want June to kind of face up to what she's done. Like, yeah, maybe go to prison for potentially killing Fred. But yeah, it's like, that's season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale for you, finally. Sorry it's so late, so yeah, bye for now, I'll see you later.